Hi everybody, welcome to Yagya VM. So in today's video, we will solve the NTSC paper 2017-18. So in the last video of NTSC 2019, I got comments from you and thank you so much for that and your response. So this is the next paper that I'm putting here. That is a solved paper of NTSC Stage 1 2017. The first question, which of the following is a produced means of production? So basically there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital and enterprise. So which of the following is a produced means of production? So the correct answer is capital. The next question, in 2016 it is asked about the human development report. So basically 2016, so it was a current affairs question. So I will just tell you what is the statistics of this year. So in the year 2020, India has been ranked at 129. So in the past few years, we have been improving. So from 133 to 130, then 129. So our rank has been consistently improving. So 2020, India's rank is 129 and our score is 0.647. So do remember these two factors. Another important thing that you can remember is that our neighbor countries, if we compare the human development report, the human development index of our neighbor countries with our country, then Sri Lanka is at 71. That means it is leading India. So Sri Lanka is above India at a rank of 71. And if we see the other countries like Bhutan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, which are the neighboring countries of India, of course, then these countries are behind India in their HDI score, right? So we have to remember this thing. So the question can also be framed like this. Another important thing that you can remember here is that the HDI. So what is HDI? And this is basically the Human Development Report, and it is published by the United Nations Development Program, okay, since the 1990s. And it is based on three parameters, basically the health, then decent standard of living. That means it is based on the per capita purchasing parity, okay, purchasing power parity. So it is based on the purchasing power parity, and it is the per capita income, right? And this is called as the decent standard of living. And the another thing is the literacy. Okay, the another thing is literacy. So HDI report is produced based on these three criteria. This is all that you have to remember in this topic. Let us move on to the next topic now. The next question is, which of the following is not true with respect to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? So option A, zero balance account. Option B, life coverage of rupees 30,000. Option C, accidental insurance of rupees 1 lakh. Option D, no interest on the deposit. So basically PM Jan Dhan Yojana, it was initiated to do some financial inclusiveness so that all the people, maybe rural area, maybe in the urban areas, maybe those people who are poor or who are rich, irrespective of anything, they can enroll themselves, they can enroll their finances into the bank accounts, okay, and that will basically do a kind of financial inclusion across the country. So it was the ambition. Now zero balance account was a feature, so it is correct. Life coverage of 30,000, that is also correct. Accidental insurance, that is also correct, but this is wrong, okay. So whatever they used to deposit, they used to get an interest on that, so no interest on deposit, this one is wrong. It is the question from economy based current affairs, okay. Next question. So we can see this next question. Which of the following deposits with bank offer a check facility? Okay, so not all the accounts that you actually open with the bank give you a check facility. For example, what are the type of account? So you can have the demand deposit. Demand deposit means what? Suppose I am depositing rupees 10,000 in a particular bank, okay, and at any point of time, if I want, I can withdraw this money, okay, getting my points. And then this is at my demand, I can withdraw the money. So this is demand deposit, and it causes no change in the economy, okay, it doesn't cause any change in the overall economy, no changes in the overall economy, right? So that is the demand deposit. Next up is the time deposit. Time deposit means, suppose I gave rupees 10,000 to the bank and I said that keep it for 5 years, and after 5 years I will take the 10,000 also and some extra amount that you will give me as my interest, okay. That means what? Ki within this 5 years I cannot withdraw the money. So this kind of deposit is called as a time deposit. Similarly, RD means recurring deposit. So from my salary, I'm depositing 10,000 rupees every month to a bank account, okay, every month, and it is a lock-in, it is locked in basically for 10 years, okay. So within 10 years I'm unable to suppose for example every month I'm giving 10,000 10,000 10,000 10,000 like that. and for 10 years I'm depositing it. After 10 years or so I will be able to withdraw it, but not at my own demand or at my own ease. Okay, so that kind of thing is called as the RD. And then demand deposit that I just explained. So basically check facility is given in which of these following accounts? So it is given in the demand deposit, not the other three. Okay, so these are the economy based question, and these are very easy question, and these are very conceptual questions. Okay, so they are concept based. So if you know the concept, you can answer it, right? So let us go to the next question now. GDP is the total volume of dash product produced during an accounting year in a country. Okay. So what is the definition of GDP? That is basically asked here. So GDP is the total volume of all the final goods and services that is produced during an accounting year in a country. Okay. So please mark the word final. Final means what? We do not take into account the intermediate goods. For example, suppose there is a cooler manufacturing company. Okay, the cooler must be taking for iron from or steel, you can say steel from some other company. So this is company A, it is supplying steel to this company, right? And from some other, it would have also taken wood and straw and all these things from some other companies. So we will consider this final good in the calculation of GDP and not these intermediate goods in the GDP calculation. Getting my point? Okay, so we will take the final goods and services, not the all of them. Okay, so we will take the final goods and services. Please mark this one. We will not take the intermediate raw materials also into account. Why? Because double payment will be there, right? So first he has produced it, so they have also paid for it. Then again if we are doing it, so it will count the amount to be double. For this iron and steel, the amount will be calculated doubly, here once and there once. Okay, so that is why all the final goods and services, right? One more thing that you can remember, that who calculates a GDP? GDP is calculated by which organization? So basically see, earlier before 2019, earlier there was a organization called as Central Statistical Office. Okay, the Central Statistical Office, CSO. Okay, and this CSO was basically merged with NSSO to become NSO. Getting my point? Okay, initially there were two organizations called as CSO. So this is totally, we are talking about the Ministry of Statistics and Implementation. So here basically there were two organizations, CSO and NSSO, right? So CSO's work was to calculate the GDP. NSSO used to do the population counting, the census and all these things, right? Now these two are merged under a single entity called as NSO. Okay, National Statistics Office. Okay, National Statistics Office. So you can also remember this thing from here, right? Okay, and since this is a current affairs news, it might be expected. So let us go to the next question now. So this is the public distribution system. This is about the PDS, public distribution system. It means distribution of essential commodities to a large number of people through a network of fair price shop on a recurring basis. So the commodities distributed under this system are dash. Okay, so it is basically asking which all commodities are given under the PDS. And the options are wheat, rice, pulses and sugar. So basically see, in 2020 we were going through the pandemic situation, and the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme was actually started in India so as to give some relief to all the entire mass or the entire population in general. So here what happened ki the pulses also were included in the PDS, right? But previously pulses was not included in the PDS system. Okay, previously pulses was not given. Now pulses is given, gram is given. Okay, right? So this is as a part of Atmanirbhar package in 2020 that you can remember as a part of the current affairs, right? But apart from that, if we talk about the 2016 2017, then at that point of time pulses, since it was not there, so option B will be correct, that is 1, 2 and 4, wheat, rice and sugar was given. So let us move to the next question now. So it is talking about COPRA, Consumer Protection Act 1986, and one more thing that you should keep in mind, that COPRA has been recently amended again. Okay, so it has been recently amended. Some changes have been made in the Consumer Protection Act. Okay, so it is basically statutory, and it provides for effective safeguard against different types of exploitation. These exploitation are in the form of dash. So basically there are 7 kinds of exploitation for which we can reach out to the Consumer Protection Act. In the new amendment, the online system, or you can say the e-commerce was also brought under the ambit of the Consumer Protection Act, COPRA. Okay, so they can also register cases in the case of the e-commerce websites, right? And apart from that, the actors and actresses, okay, public figures who endorse a particular article which is not so good for people, okay, which is unhealthy, which is not so good, or a false advertisement, so here the actors or actresses, they will also be held liable. Like for example, there was a case called as Ajay Devgan was advertising for some pan masala, okay, so from now on, because these things are injurious to health, okay, so from now on, even the actors and actresses who endorse these kind of products, they will be liable to pay a fine, okay, so they shouldn't do it. Getting my point? Okay, so these all changes were made this time, right? Okay, so you can see this. So basically your answer will be defective goods, deficient services, unfair trade practices, all of the above will be the answer. 1 2 3, all of them will be the answer, right? So if you face any doubt in understanding, you can also mention in the comments below. And I also want to know what is your view. How do you feel about these explanations? Are these being helpful to you? Please let me know in the comments. Okay.